Hey everybody, welcome in. It's a good day. It's a good day. I may or may not have forgot to put a poll question in the chat for you guys before the stream. Hopefully you're all doing well. I gotta scroll back in the chat. You guys are making it fly. So we had Rowdy Archives in here first, so hello to you. Braden was in here also. Good to see you, Braden. Rowdy, Martin, Darb, Turbo, Christopher Bell, Jamie Williams, Charity. Man, look at you guys all in the chat hanging out. 9 people already, and we just got started. Who is this custom of this driver? We are going to do our best today to finish up Kyle Busch's 2005 Robots car. So he ran this at Las Vegas, and yes, Braden, NASCAR Nation. I think we'll call you NASCAR Nation. Cool Noah, hello everybody. So yes, I was not, as you can see, the car is as we left it on Thursday. I was not able to do anything over the weekend. We just had a lot of stuff going on. My weekend was pretty much packed the entire weekend, so I wasn't able to make any progress on it. So we're going to try and finish it up tonight. Thursday is 100% going to be World Cup Lego building. Yes, give me them big anime eyes. Cool Noah, do you do custom orders? How much? I do not. I cannot take on any new projects. I have way too many things on my plate right now, so I can't take on any new projects, Noah. Sorry, I know that's not probably the answer you were looking for, but I barely have time to do what I need to do for my own stuff, let alone taking on new projects. So yeah, I'm currently 4 D'Agostini boxes behind that are sitting over there, and I'm going to have a day where I try and do all of those. What NASCAR, Diecast, Daytona Dual should I include in Pro? I don't know. You get whatever car you want. You forgot about the Robots movie. I just watched it last week before the stream. It holds up. I know it's from 2005. Cracks me up though. I loved it. It's a funny movie. We watched it all the time growing up, and yeah, great movie. What did I think of the race? We'll get into all of that, Charity. We're gonna do our normal race review. We'll get into all that shortly. Roddy went to the Lionel store in Opry Mills on Saturday. Nice. Burt Myers Clash and JJ Ailey car. I've been to that line. I've been to both Lionel stores, so that's pretty cool. It was a pretty decent race. Beautiful. So I think it's pretty well established my opinion about Denny. I actually turned the race off as soon as he took the white flag. I just didn't care. Selfish on my part, sure. But yeah, I was over it. So Kara's last week as well, because my grandpa passed away and we were getting his stuff out of the apartment moving. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Noah. I think I saw you message me a couple times, so yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a tough situation. But yeah, I can definitely understand moving stuff and all of that. So yeah, everybody throw some hearts in the chat for Noah. I have also been to both Lionel stores. Yes, so actually I have gone to both Lionel stores this year. Whoa, the chat. He makes the 8 during his burnout. Well, that was pretty cool of him. My opinions on Denny, the real Rosa. Nice to see you. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been fond of Denny. I've never liked him, and now just like the constant glazing of him, I can't even really watch the broadcast. It's just, it's too much for me. You could make a robots car as a throwback to Connor. That would be cool, Rowdy. I mean, I've heard of I've heard of both of those. Or I've heard of LA Productions. He puts out some good videos. I was only 1 or 2 years old when the movie came. Personally, favorite genres. Turbo. I don't think I've actually ever seen Turbo. That's the snail racing in the Indy 500, right? Do I have that correct, or am I incorrect on that? Oh, Jamie Williams. I also saw you in the chat. Hi. How are you doing? If Cindric spun with 8 to go, Joe Logano could have stole the win. Hey. Yeah, that is accurate. Shout out to Nashville last year. Yeah, Turbo is the Indy's version of Cars. Yeah, speaking of IndyCar, we'll talk about the IndyCar race. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hated that it was bamboozled by rain, but we'll talk about the IndyCar race coming up and later in the stream. You hear Denny is retiring at the end of 27. Dang, why couldn't he retire at the end of 26? Oh, yeah. It's one of the few. So, it's funny because I put DreamWorks in the poll for last week for the Robots movie, and it's actually not DreamWorks. It is Blue Sky in conjunction with 20th Century Fox. So I got that wrong in my poll question. Well, good evening, Mr. Rusko. Good to see you here. I dislike Denny Hamlin. Yes, I share that same sentiment. But again, I heard that he did a pretty nice tribute to Kyle, so that's good, at least. Still kind of hard to think about that Kyle's not even here. It's wild. Again, I've had my dislikes of Kyle, but I have grown fonder of him over the past handful of years since he moved to RCR, and yeah, it was. It's still hard to process losing Kyle. Yes, Turbo, exactly. You want to see him win that title so bad. Braden, I am in the opposite camp. I understand, like, it's a sentimental thing and all that, stats and everything, but I kind of just want to see him not win the title just because I love the meme. Kind of stopped hating it. It got old after a while. 20th Century Fox now, 20th Century Yeah, Rowdy. Well, back in 2005, it was 20th Century Fox. But yeah, I don't know. Robots is peak. It's a funny movie. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It cracks me up. Again, even to this day, I watched it last week, and it held up pretty well. I liked it. The humor in it's good. It's solid. It's just a solid overall movie. What about SVG wins the championship? I mean, that would be fine with me. I like Shane. I think that would be pretty crazy if he were to pull something like that off. He would have to go on an insane run to end the season. But yeah, I guess my dislike for Hamlin has become more apathy, so I just don't care. Like, I'll just turn the race off if he's in the lead, or gonna, if he took the white flag, I'll just turn the race off. I'll go do something else. Like, I don't have to waste any more time on it. Well, Turbo, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for dropping by just to say hi. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us for a little bit. Tim says Cletus for president. Tim, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that on stream. I already said I said my piece about Cletus. I'm not doing it. You can't bait me into that conversation tonight. But yeah, Turbo, it was good to see you. Hopefully you have a good rest of your evening. Back Thursday, it's going to be a different stream. I should mention this now while we have everybody here. Thursday's stream will be the World Cup Lego build. So I know it'll be a little bit different, and you know, if you guys don't want to come hang out for that, I totally understand it. But yes, so Thursday's World Cup Lego build stream, same time, 8 o'clock. Again, I know the schedule's been thrown a little bit out of whack just because of the late Sunday races, but I'll be the second one in timeout. Yes. Greg isn't here yet to take his initial step into the timeout chair, but Tim, you're working your way there if you keep that up. Yeah, cool. Noah. Yeah, like I said, if you guys want to come hang out, it's gonna be different. We might talk a little bit NASCAR, but mostly I'm gonna be talking about the World Cup. That starts on Thursday, so that's the first game is Mexico, South Africa in Mexico. So that will be Thursday I think it's at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something. And then the second match that day is at 10 p.m. So that's the plan for Thursday's stream. We can talk a little bit about racing too. But I'm going to focus primarily on the World Cup. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty excited. We are going to be missing about a week's worth, maybe 2 weeks of streams because we're going to be going to some World Cup matches and I will be out of state. So yeah, we'll talk about that in the coming weeks once we get closer, but that'll be Thursday. I'm looking forward to it. Big tournament. The U.S. is hosting it. I'm super excited. Last time it was here was 1994. I was not alive. And I would think that many of you guys were not either, based off of some of the things that you guys have said in the chat. I don't know if Cody Ware is likable. Thank you, Braden. I'm a little apprehensive about it just because I don't love going to cities. Well, all right, Tim. Well, don't bring that in here. We're here for a good time. Yeah, I don't love cities all that much, but again, it is the World Cup, so it should be a fun time. So as from that aspect, I am looking forward to it. But yeah, the US's first game is on Friday evening, so I'll talk about all that on Thursday's stream. I'm making Darlington diorama right now. I have one diecast for it because they are so expensive. Are you doing like with all the cars? Because I had visions to make a Martinsville diorama, but I just haven't had the time to. See, time is my biggest enemy. Because now I'm older and I have the money. I just don't have the time. World Cup. I don't know much about the World Cup. I'm watching a guy who makes custom cars and wants to talk. Listen, I haven't mentioned food once yet. You brought that up. I'm not really too hungry tonight, so I wasn't planning on talking about food. You brought that one up. But yeah, we'll talk all about the World Cup on Thursday. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun time. IndyCar should make a comeback to Motegi. Aha, the Japanese track from the 90s. Made the World Cup. Hey, Matt. Good to see you. Matt makes things back in the house tonight. Made the World Cup prediction. ESPN fan. I don't know anything about soccer. Well, that's the glory of it. You have a whole month to learn. And it's kind of like it's going to take over for a month. And you'll get to see what it's all about. So, I mean, we could talk about it tonight, but I want to focus on the racing stuff tonight. Good news is I enjoyed the heck out of it. Yes, the IndyCar race. I also liked the IndyCar race last night. I was very disappointed that the rain kind of played a big role as it did, but yeah, it was overall a pretty good race. I enjoyed the IndyCar race. Newgarden winning, it was fine. Kirkwood made up some points on Palou because Palou had a penalty on his last pit stop. So overall, it was solid. But yeah, overall, pretty good race. We'll talk about the racing soon. At least NASCAR doesn't have the playoffs as the World Cup. Rainforest Cafe. Come on, Braden. Yeah, I mean, the World Cup it's hard to compare stick and ball sports. I don't know if I want to compare NASCAR to soccer, really, but not in this particular instance as far as playoffs go, because most soccer leagues don't have playoffs around the world. They do have some leagues, some like the Champions League and the World Cup, but well, I know some things, but little to nothing. Well, that's fine. We got time to learn. I didn't watch IndyCar until about 150 to go, but from what I watched, it was banger. Yes, Braden, the IndyCar race was a lot of fun. I was very well captivated by the majority of the race, if not the whole race. One thing on the IndyCar, Charity, join on Thursday. We'll talk. The whole stream will be about the World Cup. We'll get into all of it. It's the soccer tournament that's taking place this year. Yes, Braden, I agree. They should race more ovals. You will not hear a negative argument about that from me. Didn't watch much of the racing because I was traveling back from Tennessee. Oh yeah, I think you had a choir trip, Rowdy? Is that what you had? Hey, Steph B. Hey, howdy, hey, I'm on a yo-yo. Who does your custom boxes? So, the custom boxes are done by a company around me. The whole it's okay, Braden. Hey, like I said, if you guys don't want to be there on Thursday because it's about soccer and not racing, that's totally fine. Like, I completely understand. But aside from NASCAR, soccer is my other, I guess, passion sport. I grew up playing it, watching it and everything, and then we're hosting the World Cup this year. So, yeah, I want to put some effort into that. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk all Thursday about it. I'm going to try and get custom diecast. Wait, you asked about, see this chat, now that we have people in here, it's crazy to keep up with this chat. I can understand. Okay, so the Real Rosa, you asked about the boxes. It's a company that's about an hour from my house. I'll be honest, I'm not comfortable with releasing their name. I don't know if they want that out there. So, and also it's just like a side thing that they do. Like, their main stuff is they do other projects for like actual big companies. And so what they're doing for me is just kind of like a hobby thing. And so, yeah, I don't know if I want to really put them out there for that. Just because I don't know what they're, if they would want that. I suppose I could ask, but I think I'm good for right now. I don't want to hurt the relationship I have with them. It's a pretty good one at the moment. Okay, so I gotta scroll back up because this chat's flying. Okay, so Braden, you'll be here no matter what. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna try and get a custom diecast tutorial out this week to celebrate 30 subs. Nice, Rowdy. I completely endorse that. You should absolutely do that. And congrats on 30 subscribers. That's exciting. 34 to be specific. Very cool. We got the TV panel on the back of this robot's car. So we'll move on to the nose. Board Diecast, what good to see you. I am doing fine. Yes, things are busy over here, but we're making it through. And yeah, Roddy, if we could get IndyCar back at Texas, that would be awesome. IndyCar back to more ovals. I want to see that. Last time you played soccer was 2019. Last time I played was 2023, I think. During Dana Charlotte Roval for the first the 21 car make awesome throwback Morgan Shepard's. That's very specific, Rowdy. Archives, I don't remember that. No Time to Die. When was that? Charlotte Roval. I was 7 and in 2nd grade. IndyCar should try Daytona Road Course. I don't know. I don't know about the Daytona Road Course. Maybe. I feel like it'd get a little too spread out. Like that track's a little too big for a road course for them. Christopher Bell, I saw you earlier, but hello, good to see you. Anthony's in the house. He's here. The party can start. Let's go. Yes, I've seen Impractical Jokers. It's a great show, of course. 2 Diecast today. Oh, all right, Noah. Well, it was good to see you. Thank you, Christopher Bell. I appreciate it. Barbecue mac and cheese. Barbecue chicken, mac and cheese, baked beans, green beans. Wow, that sounds like a great dinner, honestly. Alright, that's so cool. I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but I love the World Cup. I remember watching 2010, loved it. My favorite World Cup. Yes, 2010 was like the first World Cup that I remember. I was in high school in 2010, and so that was like the first one that I remember. I very faintly remember playing with the ball from 2006 Germany, but 2010 was like the first one that I actually remember watching and like having brackets for and doing all of that. So yes, 2010 South Africa was a fun one. 100% agree. Sorry, I just gotta focus here for 1 second. But yes, I'm looking forward to this one quite a bit. Here coming up, starting on Thursday. Found out that my grandpa's farm, he still does hay. Cool. I'm very allergic to hay, or at least I was. I was helping my friend bale hay when I was younger, and I sneezed my head off and was very, very itchy. So I don't know if I'm still allergic to hay. I don't know if it works like that, but back then I was quite allergic to hay when I was trying to help them bale and move hay bales around, and that was not a fun time for me. I remember that. Yeah, Rosa, I just, they're doing this kind of not as a favor, but to help. They're being very nice to work with me. You know, since this isn't their normal business practice, I just don't want to open that can of worms up for them. Yeah, our dinner was hard to make, but you gotta make the whole. Yeah, well, yeah, making dinner is fun. Making dinner is difficult sometimes, but it's the payoff. That's the best part. Haven't done much today besides play draft. I have heard of Draft Masters. Michael Mertz has done a few videos on that. I have seen that. I've never played it, but I've seen it. How to have an amazing night. Watch Diecast stream. Thumbtack. Diecast and box hangout for good decorations. Heck yeah. Well, I appreciate you being here, Matt. It's sweet. It's so cool that you guys like to hang out and just chat. This channel's so fun. It's so cool. The last time IndyCar raced at Daytona was 1959. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a lot different than then, of course, but Newgarden would like to see more ovals. That is true. Kyle Kirkwood did all right. He did all right. They had some crazy pit strategy. We'll talk about IndyCar shortly. Good thing. All right, Anthony, Ryan, we'll get into that. The Joe Bellini ball for 20. You want, but the colors looked amazing. Do you? No. Okay, Board Diecast. Will you be here on Thursday? If you're gonna be here on Thursday, I will bring out my World Cup final soccer balls, and I'll show you guys them on stream. I have the 2010 final, 14 final, 18 final, 22 final. I will buy the 26 final for this year. The Brazuca. The Joe Belani, the Brazuca. What were the names of the other ones? The Mechta for Russia, and then I don't remember what the 22 one was called, but I do have all of those final ones. Friend's allergic to cherries, we found out in kindergarten when he ate one and threw up. Well, that's one way to find out. What is my favorite dish to make? What the heck kind of question is that? I have no idea. I mean, I'm pretty good at making pierogies. I don't know if that's a dish, but I like making pierogies. Yeah, Hocevar was close. Draftmaster 2. It's crazy thinking it's tied with Friday. That trivia was beautiful. I was in Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts for like 2 months. Quit. This was like 3 years ago. I did Cub Scouts when I was a kid too. I will be there. Can't wait. Yes, I will be. We'll be building the World Cup trophy in Lego. I'll bring out the soccer balls. I have a Vuvuzela from the 2010 World Cup. I did not go, but I bought one. The name of it, Rila. It's probably on the ball. I don't speak Arabic, whatever they say. I do speak a little Russian, but not Arabic. So I know what mechta means, but yeah. So they're all sitting right over there. The Messi. What about the Messi? The Messi Lego? I also have a Messi Lego. We could build that. No, not Rainforest Cafe. We're not talking about Rainforest Cafe this week. I haven't been at Cub Scouts since. Anyone remember? Yeah, I remember the Pinewood Derby. In fact, oh, it might be too much. If I stepped away for like 5 minutes, would that be too much? Because I think I could go find my Pinewood Derby car from when I was in Boy Scouts. You guys let me know. Yes, Christopher Bell. That was one of the most vicious hits I've ever seen in racing. Ciao, Mr. Diecast from our Italian family. Ciao. Well, I will say, was ciao is hello or goodbye? I think ciao is like a, yes, the NASCAR cafe. I went to the one in Orlando back in like 2007 at Boardwalk or City Walk at, what's it called? Universal Studios. Oh, The Journey. The Journey. I would like to see the Pinewood. Okay. Whoa. Both. Okay, so like Privyet in Russian is hi, or Здравствуйте is hello. До свидания. Everybody knows До свидания. It's goodbye. Bro, one time in Pinewood Derby, I won the award for most creative. I made a gumball machine. That is pretty creative. I won the best in show for mine as well. My dad did most of the painting and most of the work because I was just a wee lad. But I'll go get it in a minute. Let me get this on. I'll go get it. This is the first time I've been able to get to. I've watched live recent streams after Adventure and Custom Diecast. It's pretty incredible. Well, I'm glad to have you here, Real Rosa. I hope that I can inspire you in some sort of way. I think the NASCAR diecast community needs a little bit more love sometimes. And I think that, you know, the custom aspect of it is so important because a lot of cars that don't get made, you know, if you want them, you'll never be able to get them unless you get them custom made. So I like to go back and make a lot of older cars. I do make some new cars for some teams and friends of mine. But yeah, I think, first of all, glad to have you here. And yeah, it's a fun, I like the NASCAR diecast community. It's a good one. What derby car was it? All right, I'll go get it. Hold on. Christopher Bell. Okay. Once again, can't say. Real Mr. Purrs, good to see you. All good. Glad to have you in here, just even if it's just to say hi. Appreciate you being here, even if it's just for a minute. All right, I'll go look for my Pinewood Derby car. I think I know where it is. You're just gonna have to give me a moment. Well, let me finish doing this first because it's a little sideways. Actually, the nose of this car is sideways. I'll stay next time. Promise. It's all good. It's all good. Have a good rest of your evening. Thanks for stopping in, even if it was for a couple minutes. I appreciate you hanging out for the time. All right. Let's try and get this wrapped up here. It is kind of crazy, though, you guys blowing through these chats. LJ, custom diecast in general needs a lot of love, good amount of creativity. I agree. I think one of the coolest things is the ability to make like iRacing schemes and non-real raced schemes for people. That's their way to get into the sport. That's their introduction. I've said this before, and I'm not the one that came up with this, but the diecast are like the driver's jerseys. It's like the team jersey, right? So you get the diecast of whatever your team or your driver is, and that's how you show your support that way. I think it does need more love, more attention, because you're absolutely right. There's a ton of creativity out there, and like I said, for people that people that have, like you say, Roddy, fictional paint schemes, or schemes that never raced, or iRacing schemes, different things like that. I think those are really important for the community, for people. It's really cool to see stuff like that. I think it helps grow the hobby a little bit too. But overall, I mean, I think the biggest hit that the diecast community has taken was just Lionel buying everything up and monopolizing everything. Dang, look at that. Braden's saying exactly what I was about to say. Wild Horse Slim Shady. I like making fictional schemes. I'd have two that I wish to be made for. Yeah, fictional schemes are cool. To some degree. I personally would not want any in my collection because I'm very specific. I'm a very specific collector in the cars that I want and the cars that I buy. But I absolutely 100% understand like why people would want their iRacing schemes or, whatever insert racing series schemes. I completely understand that. When are we doing a 24-hour stream? I don't know. That seems well out of my wheelhouse at the moment. I don't know if my body could take a 24-hour stream. That'd be a lot of commitment. The IndyCar needs to step up their diecast game, by the way. They don't have a Kyle Kirkwood car out this year yet. But yes, I think competition is healthy for any industry, especially ones like this. But what do you think about Hamlin pretty much saying Burkers? Well, I didn't hear that because I turned the race off, but that's fine. Doesn't make a difference to me. The sooner he retires, the better. Larson got bent on the... Yes, Martin, I did see that. One fictional scheme would be a bit basic. I needed 28 Bristol Chase, but Hot Blast. Just the number 77. Were there decals for that? I don't even know. There might have been decals made for that Chase Elliott one. Then you could just put the 77 decals over top, or instead of the 9. That seems pretty simple, if their decals are available for it. Which I think they might be. I'm not 100% sure. When we doing the ranting, I mean, I have no idea how to set that up. I have no clue about like bringing guests on or being guests on people's streams. Like, I know nothing about what you guys see is all I know how to do. I am not a streamer. So, yeah, this is the peak of my abilities at the moment. Maybe I'll get better over time, but right now this is all you get. I know, pretty disappointing. Made a host of our iRacing scene, put a megaphone on the recording. I don't know if I do know, so I might not be in the know for that one. My days of internet culture have significantly dwindled since I took Twitter off of my phone. Let's see. Whoa, we're going fast here. If I were to buy an IndyCar diecast that wasn't Larson, it'd probably be David Malukas' Horizon Scheme. Such a beautiful car. That, and he's a big Daniel Dye fan, I heard. Or Daniel Dye's a big David Malukas fan, something like that. No, Tim, that's not entirely true. Let me correct the record here. I will grab this one. So this is the Kyle Kirkwood car that I've been working on since last year. I just haven't had time to finish it. But yeah, so the Indy cars, while yes, the bottom underwing, this is all plastic. Tires are actually pretty solid. They're solid rubber, so they're good. Steel axles. This I 3D printed, but the wings were black. Both of these 3D printed. Or black. Yes, they're black, but they're plastic. But all of this is diecast. I don't know if you can hear that. So this is all diecast metal except for the windscreen. Obviously it's plastic. So they're actually pretty, like this. This is heavier than this. Now this is a 2005 action car. This is a 2025 Indy car. When you put the chassis and everything back in this car, it will be heavier just because this is plastic and it's pretty lightweight. But yes, this is the Indy cars are pretty solid. I will say that. So yes, I have yet to finish this car, but I want to get this done. But again, it's my project, and other people's project come before my project, unfortunately, these days. I'm working on one of my sim schemes for a supercar Mustang. It's been a fun project. Nice. See, it's always better when you enjoy the project you're working on too. That always helps out. Let's see. The other one's a bit complicated since they're based on a train company. Oh, nice. Train company. I look good, but the quality is crap. See, Roddy, I don't know if I 100% disagree with that. It's fine. Like, I took this car entirely apart. It's decent quality. It's not that bad. Megaphone. Oh, host of ours Twitch streams. Middle school. I got 2 days in the series. In the show called Middle School, I got 2 days, and the series will be put to rest. I'm not sure I follow that. Easy, Braden. Easy. Authentic collectibles, 1/18 scale. They're popular. Like, can't pick them up for 80 or less. Yeah, I don't remember how much this car was. It was actually an autograph car, so it was all white, and I thought that was going to be better for me to make, but it turns out that it was the Indianapolis variant, and it had the super speedway wings on it, and so I had to 3D print these like short track road course wings. It kind of looks like an X-Wing, I guess. My new gardens weigh about a third of my old Stewart Indy cars. Well, I mean, compared to the old ones, sure, I'm not surprised. That's the same thing with these cars, though. The Lionel has cheaped out a ton. I will say the Premier Elites are pretty heavy. but you know, it is what it is. It's just kind of the way that the market goes. You know, things are going to be good, things are going to be bad. They don't have competition, so they're going to do the bare minimum. That's what it is. That's where we are currently, especially with the NASCAR diecast. But I'll put this away for now because this isn't the focus of our stream. Ideally, I'd like to get it done before Mid-Ohio, but that's like a month. I want to try and take it to see if I can get Kyle to autograph it, but yeah. Oh, 164s. I have 3 164s. I have Kyle Kirkwood, Kyle Larson, and Graham Rahal. Graham Rahal's like an Ohio native, so I'd like to see him do well. He was having a good season this year. He's a couple podiums, and unfortunately, he had an untimely end to yesterday's race. 164. Okay. They've been getting better with diecast chassis and rubber tires, but quality-wise, it's basically the same. Yeah. So we're always gonna fight kind of the same issues. Just when there's no competition, you can do the bare minimum and get away with it, or try to get away with it, compared to what used to be when there was competition and you actually had to put out a good product to get the sales made. Oh yeah, I gotta go find that Pinewood Derby car. So let me finish doing this really quick, then I will go. See, the problem is it's in one of my tables, so I got to take the plastic off of the table to get to it. I don't know how well that's gonna go. But I think we're 45 minutes into the stream and we have yet to actually talk about specifics as far as this weekend's races go, so we will start that as soon as I get this nose piece cut off. It's funny also, the poll is sitting at 71-29, and in case you were wondering, yes, I absolutely forgot to put a poll question up until the second that I added it, so no hijinks there. Also, I don't know, it's not really related. I guess it's kind of related to the word hijinks, but the phrase pulled a fast one is so funny to me. I'm not really sure why. I heard that today on somebody's stream and it just cracked me up. Like, pulled the fast one is just such a funny expression. Don't know why. It made me laugh. Alright. So we'll get that. We'll get that. Okay, so we have a couple more decals to put on here and here. Cover up some of those spots. Then we can hopefully try and finish this car up. Alright, should I go find my Pinewood Derby car? Wake me up when you get to any race. All others I'll pass on. Alright, yeah, let me pull that up really quick. Sounds like my laptop's getting ready to take off again. I don't know what the deal is with that. Update's complete. Alright, cool. Oh yeah, my laptop needs an update, and I don't know if that's gonna happen tonight. Alright, let's see. We got this one. We got this one. And come on, Racing Reference. You can do better than that. Pinewood Derby. Okay, yeah. Pinewood Derby. Okay. Alright. Hang tight. I don't have anything interesting to put here. Here, check this out. I 3D printed that. That's exciting. Analyze that. Well, that didn't take too long. I knew exactly where it was. Here's my Pinewood Derby car from like 2004. Oh, my name's on the bottom of it. Yeah, don't look at that. This was the Wolf Pack is what it was. But yes, this was 2004 Jeff Gordon DuPont Chevrolet. We didn't win, but we won Best in Show. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This thing wasn't very fast. Gordon was pretty fast in 2004 though. So I looked up Lionel Shop, Daytona Duel, and Chase Elliott Duel, and Joey Logano. I mean, I would get Chase Elliott because I don't like Joey Logano, but you can really see the 3D. Yes, this is 3D. Ah, man, Muppet Vision 3D. Rest in peace to that. Yeah, so my dad pretty much did all the work on it. I was 8 in 2004, so yeah, I don't think I did much on it, other than I was the creative genius behind it. But yes, this is 3D. I'm considering selling these, but I don't know how to figure that out. Can't imagine all that paint help, but it looks the best. Yeah, see, we weren't going for speed. We were going for aesthetic. We had the weights in the bottom of it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. After 20-something years, them wheels still spin. Nice. Yeah, looked awesome under the lights. I miss this paint scheme. That's the paint scheme that I grew up watching Jeff Gordon race, was this red and blue DuPont scheme, and it was beautiful. For being, again, I've mentioned this tons and tons of different times, but being colorblind, I really liked NASCAR in the early to mid 2000s because of the vibrant colors, like Tony Stewart's orange car. You had Jeff Gordon's like orange and blue car, Dale Jr.'s bright red car, like a lot of the Elliott Sadler M&M's yellow. Like, they were bright colors, and I really liked that. So that helped rope me in as a fan. I'm going to say this. Muppet Vision 3D closing was such a middle finger to Jim Henson's legacy. Braden, I agree. That was one of my favorite attractions at Disney. The fact that they closed it is just very sad. Now they did, I'm sure you're aware, they did turn Rock and Roller Coaster into a Muppet attraction, which I don't hate. But what they could do is they have behind, like if this is Rock and Roller Coaster and like Tower of Terror is over here, like the boulevard's here. Over back here, they have like a villains thing. It was a Lightning McQueen race car thing, but now it's a villains thing. It seems like it's like a theater. It seems like they don't know what they want to do with it. That's where they should put. That's where they should put Muppet Vision 3D. They should just bring it over there, and kind of have that as like the Muppet corner. I think they should do that. I would be a great creative at Disney, but whatever. Matt Kenseth, bright yellow Walt Taurus. Yep, that one. The silver bullet, the Coors Light car with Sterling Marlin. Casey Kane's red, or Bill Elliott's red, bright red Dodge. Jeremy Mayfield was in the bright red Dodge as well. I made one for the 20 Olympics back 20 and Alpine Dare before. Yeah, 2020. We don't like to talk about that. CO2 dragsters and decide. It wasn't fast, but it was a banana. The fast banana. That's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that show. It's still not the same. I know it's not, and I agree. I am very upset and disappointed. That they got rid of Muppet Vision 3D, but I don't know. 2020 was a year. It was on the calendar. Alright, let me figure this out, because this is some awkward geometry that we're going to have to work with here. Might have to Might have to get the razor blade out and get creative with this. Made a CO2 car last year. Oh yeah, the 31 singular car, bright orange and black. Even like Jimmy Johnson's car was blue and silver. It was pretty bright. But honestly, like, I don't know, even the black Texaco Haviland car, whether it was Jamie McMurray or Juan Pablo Montoya, like even those cars were still pretty bright, even though they were black. Like Martin Truex Jr. Something about it. Something about a painted race car trumps a wrapped race car all the time. Like the wraps, they just aren't. I don't know if it's they don't have the gloss coat over top of them. I don't know what it is, but the painted gloss cars I will take all day, every day over a wrapped car. I made a CO2 car, 7th grade, green and gold. Lucky number 46. Hey, there you go. Green and gold, that's a pretty cool color combination. I got given 44, but I didn't pull Lewis Hamilton. Got taken out in the second heats. Yeah, I don't remember winning that. I was really good. I don't know if you guys had this in Cub Scouts, but we had like the rain gutter regatta where we made these boats, and you had to like blow the boats down the gutter, and I was good at that. I don't know what that says, but Gordon drove a lot of cool Pepsi car, drove at Talladega. I still remember watching that race, and I was so happy he won in that scheme. Are you talking about the fall COT, the white flame? It was mostly blue, but it had white flames on it. I could go get it. I'm looking at it in my case over there. Do you want me to go get it? Board Diecast, you want me to go get that 07 Gordon Pepsi Talladega win car? I see it. It's right over there. It'll just take me a second to run over and grab it. I made one of my boats, a Ross Chastain boat. Nice. The melon boat. The Mad Melon. Yep, that one. All right, I'll go grab it. All right, 1 second. Chrome Illusion was the best. I have the 164 race version of that car. I also have the 164 race version as well. Yeah, this car was sweet. He led one lap, the last lap, the most important lap, and brought this car home, put it in victory lane. So this is the Elite version. It's got the tethers under the hood. See, I didn't watch the Chrome Illusion car growing up, so I mean it was probably cool, but I never saw it actually race. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite cars. It's a little weird because there's not really much raced version nature to it. I mean, there's a little bit of dirt on the nose. There's a little bit of dirt on the splitter, tire rubber buildup, some grill tape, but the car is in pretty dang good condition for racing at Talladega. So, yeah, and then the tire decals, of course. But for Talladega, this car looks mint. I do also have the Peanuts car. I have the T-Rex car. How do you usually get the decal off the front window without destroying the plastic underneath? What decals are you taking off of front windows? Like the names on top? For the newer cars? Never forget what they took from us. I know, Braden, like, I'm assuming you're probably referencing the COT. This car, if you go back and watch some of these old races, like, they weren't bad. They weren't bad, especially compared to what we have now. Holy cow, this one's DIN number 324. We missed the DIN by a 3. So for the new cars, I will lightly sand them. Sometimes I take the end of a razor blade and just kind of shave like this here. This is kind of weird, but like if you take the end of a razor blade and just shave the windshields, it'll do the same thing that it did to my fingernail and just take the top layer off. You have to be really careful with it, but yeah. Oh, the detail? Yeah, Braden, 100%. 100%. Yeah, the detail on these cars is fantastic. This thing is heavy. This thing is a solid car. All the engine detail. Yeah, these things were awesome. Yeah, these are some of my favorite cars. And like I said, the COTs, I mean, if you go back and watch some of those races, they really weren't that bad. Especially compared to what we get today. It was just a different era. I still remember, like, it was yesterday for Gordon winning that day. MotoGP driver passed away due to a crash. Norick Abe. I'm not familiar with that name, but yeah, that was. I remember Kyle Petty complaining about Gordon getting all the points for winning, but only being up there and leading one lap. I remember that was kind of like the beginning of when they started talking about awarding points throughout the race. Bad times awarding points in the middle of a race. Yep, good old Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty was a solid driver. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible. He just had a really big shadow cast over him. I use methylated spirits on my diecast. Dip a cotton swab generally rubber. I've heard it could cause damage stuff. Never happened. Yeah, so there's a couple different ways to do it. I found that the way that I do it works for me also because I'm then putting something over top of it. So if I'm careful enough, and if it does mess it up a little bit, I'll take a very fine sandpaper and just kind of hit that area very lightly just to smooth it out. Because like I said, I am going to be putting something directly over top of it, so it does get covered up. Bite speeds in the house. What's up? Robots. The movie would be so much better. Yeah, I think so too. It's a kids movie at the end of the day. It is a movie for kids, but you gotta... But yes, better world building than Cars. Oh, the robots, the aesthetic of that movie is awesome. I just watched it the other day, and it's fantastic. It's so creative. It's so cool. Some of the things don't really make a ton of sense, but like, it's also just, yes, a really cool world that they created. There's a lot of cameos in there too. I don't know if you guys noticed when you watched that movie. A lot of cameos, a lot of miscellaneous people in there. A lot of things that I didn't really notice when I was a kid. Going back and watching now. But yes, very good movie. Yes, for 2005. 2005 had some bangers. I mean, Episode 3 for Star Wars is the big one in my mind. But robots, then you also had Madagascar come out in 2005. Like 2005 had some good movies. thought Petty was good at The Rock. Yeah, see, didn't ever watch that. I don't remember. Well, the last race at The Rock before they brought it back was 2003. I kind of don't really remember anything before 2004. Oh. Oh, Bora Diecast. The question you just asked. Yes, I have pretty much every Jeff Gordon diecast produced. So there's a video on my channel that is it basically shows my entire collection. I don't know if it's like the number one, it's like the pinned video on the channel. So so yeah, if you want to go check that out, I have so many cars. And I pretty much have every Jeff Gordon. I do now have every Jeff Gordon raced version diecast, actually. That was produced. Let's go right there. But yes, his 2015 Martinsville, his last win, actually. That car is exceptionally expensive these days. In all finishes. Yeah, go check it out. I would say, I mean, you could check it out now if you want, or you could go after the stream. Yes, my my basement is like a 24 museum. It's turning into like a more NASCAR in general museum, but yes, I have a lot of stuff. I understand I have a problem, but listen, I could spend my money on worse things like drugs and such. So, you know, it's not too bad. The only reason why I don't chase LA is because Anthony Alfredo got DQ'd after Duel 2. I don't remember that. The races nowadays, I don't really remember too much because I don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about them anymore. Like when I was younger, I would watch all of the highlights. I would watch the midweek recaps, Speed Channel. I was all about it. And then once Twitter was a thing, I'd watch everything I could on Twitter and all that stuff. And then, you know, my interest level has just waned a ton. Considering a lack of reference, I found that car very impressive in detail. Let's go into this one. Yeah, but this one is, it's almost impossible to find good reference pictures. And there's one Facebook post that I found that has decent reference pictures, but I can't open them anymore. For some reason, the pictures won't load. And it's like Facebook gives you an error and says we can't. And it's only a post that's a year old. It's from 2025. So I don't know what the deal with that is. But yeah, this one, I did not make this decal sheet. I did make the grid that goes behind it. So you can tell that there's a grid. The decal sheet did not come with a grid. So I designed it. I just put a bunch of squares together and had them printed out. And I think it adds so much more to the car because that's what the actual car looked like, of course. We're always trying to go for authenticity if we can on this channel. The most rare diecast I have in my collection is 2008 Auto Club Carl Edwards. Yeah, rip to Auto Club Speedway. But yep, that's that car's red and black. I can picture it in my mind, the 99. Yep, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Used to watch Gordon on Thursday Night Thunder. Listen, Tim, we all can't be as old as you. Yes, I never did that. That was before my time. Again, wish Australia got more NASCAR off, guys. Dear, 2 packs of playing cards. All right, Matt. We didn't even get to the race reviews. Should we do that? We've been yapping this whole night. It's been a fun stream. I was a little apprehensive about streaming today. I wasn't too sure how it was gonna go, but I'm glad it's gone pretty well. I hope you guys have had fun today. It's been cool to see you all in the chat. Cody messaged me on Twitter, so I got to respond to him at some point, but the stream's just been too good. I can't step away. Maybe when we go over the results here, I'll respond to him. Seems like it was yesterday. Yeah, I know. I hear ya. My first race was already 22 years ago. It's hard to believe. Hard to believe. Sorry, I'm just focusing up here for a second because I don't want to mess this decal up. There we go. Yeah, so then we'll do this side, and then we'll put one across the grill, and that'll be the whole grid done on the whole car. But before we do that, let's jump into Friday's race. This was the DQS Solutions and Staffing 250. All right. Corey Heim gets the win. I was a little disappointed. I did a Derby car Barbie themed Swan Lake. That's funny. That sounds very unaerodynamic. But yeah, Corey Heim brought home the win, which, I don't know. I didn't want to see Corey Heim victory. I didn't really care much for Caden Honeycutt either. But he threw a pretty normal block on him. He did not win. That's funny. The block that Corey Heim put on Caden Honeycutt wasn't egregious. So I saw Honeycutt was pretty upset with him after the race, but I mean, it wasn't like he wrecked him or anything. It was a pretty fairly innocuous block. But again, Corey Heim, don't really care. He's going to Cup next year, so. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, Heim time. Heim will be stepping into the Cup Series next year. I was really hoping Carson would win. I wanted Carson to win both races this weekend. I was hoping that he would sweep the weekend. He did not do that at all. Yeah, I don't know. Corey Heim, he's fine. I don't have anything like necessarily against him, but I just don't really care much for him. So, yeah, Corey Heim gets the win. And Caden Honeycutt finishes second and is a little upset with his teammate for that block, but Honeycutt has to. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that's probably why he was also a little bit upset, just because of the success Corey's had and whatnot. But yeah, that's probably where some of that came from too, I would assume. But yeah, so Heim wins, Honeycutt finishes second, Carson finishes third. Ross, something happened to Ross. He got like eaten up on one of the restarts or something, and he just didn't really have the truck to compete. I think this was his last race for the season as well in the truck series. So a little disappointed about Ross, but it is what it is. Then Parker Kligerman really didn't do a whole lot, unfortunately, either. Christopher Bell was up there. He was leading some. Yes, I was printing out some templates, color cartridges on last day. Blue. Cody Ware became pink. Well, that's kind of funny. It's unfortunate, but kind of funny. Frankie Muniz went for a spin. Cletus, I think, also went for a spin. But both ended up in the top 25. A couple crashes. Nothing too crazy. And then, yeah, honestly, the racing was pretty good. It was pretty solid, back and forth, lead changes, different drivers up there at different times. I mean, you kind of had your main cast of characters up front all day, but they swapped the lead. It wasn't like one driver could get away and hide. They were always kind of within touching distance of each other. So that was kind of nice. Replaced and reprinted. Nice, Roddy, and I'm sure it worked. Roddy, I know Ellie said he wasn't really going to be on my streams too much. I don't know if you've talked to him lately, but I wanted to show him that I got his drawing framed, but he hasn't been on the past couple of streams. But yes, ink running out is a headache for sure. So I guess you guys could tell me, probably better than I would know. Is Corey Heim running full-time in the Truck Series this year? Like, is he going for the championship? Because he's still in the championship standings. Is that what's happening? Like I said before, the extent of my knowledge is kind of just enough to talk with you guys on the streams. I don't really pay too much attention anymore. I sent him a screenshot of when he showed it. Oh, good. Okay, yeah, I know he sent me an email and I forgot to respond to him. It's on my list of things to do. My list of things to do is so long. But I was gonna try and pop into one of his streams at some point and tell him, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it. I don't actually think he's streamed since I got that. Yeah, Braden. Yeah. But nothing. He hasn't responded. Oh, gotcha. It's all good. I'm sure we'll tell him at some point, or I'll show him. Sorry, I just had to focus there for a second. But yeah, as far as the rest of the race goes, overall it was pretty solid. A little disappointed in the winner, but it was a solid race. Like I said, couldn't really run away and hide. They didn't really have any strategy. It was pretty straight up racing, it was fun for most of it. How much was run under caution? It wasn't too bad for cautions, I don't think. 27%, so under 30%. The problem is these are short races, the trucks. So, yeah, still a decent amount. Almost a third of the race was run under caution. But, again, big track, long caution periods, which you'd think it would be shorter. But NASCAR finds a way to screw things up. But, anyway, yeah, I think he was up there for a little bit, the 91. Where did he end up finishing? Am I dumb? Am I blind? What happened to him? 32nd. I don't know what happened to him. He was up front for a while. Well, maybe not for a while. He was up front for a bit. I don't know what happened to him. Why he ended up finishing all the way back there, but yeah, pretty unfortunate for those guys. I agree with you. I thought he would have done a little bit more this season so far, but he hasn't. Same thing with Ty Majeski. ThorSport's just been off. I don't really know how to explain it or how to describe it, but ThorSport's just been off. I did like the truck race. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was overall a pretty good race. The Cup race. All right, we'll talk about that. There's not really a ton more to say about the truck race. The Cup race, the Firekeepers Casino 400. Bro won by 11 seconds. Like, okay. I watched most of the race, but I also watched most of the race without sound because we were doing other things. So I don't know all of the strategy. I don't know all of that. The beginning of it, I listened to it a little bit with sound, but they were talking about fuel and fuel mileage and all that stuff, and there's a couple simple ways to solve this, right? I think the most simple way to solve the fuel mileage problem is to have it take longer to put the tires on the cars. Then you're not waiting on fuel. When you have to put 5 lug nuts on each tire, on each wheel, it takes longer per wheel. And with the new gas cans, they can get the cars completely full in the time that it would take to put 5 lug nuts on 2 tires. So that's one simple fix that they could do to alleviate some of the fuel saving strategy problems. And then I guess the other way would just be to increase the fuel size. Well, get rid of stage cautions. I mean, that's the easiest, most obvious number one, but that's not going to happen. Pie in the sky kind of thing. Get rid of stage cautions. But yeah, I would... I don't know. I really don't want to be negative. I really, really don't want to be negative. But it's so easy. It's so easy. So anyway, yeah. The Cup race, I did watch most of it. Like I said, I watched most of it without audio. It was okay. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. I don't like these cars. I don't like how planted they are to the track. They don't move around a lot, and when they do, it's over. Carson had a really, really, really good save. But he had to use the entire track to save the car. When Chase went around, that was one of the hardest hits I've ever seen. Chase into Bell, Bell into the wall. They destroyed the wall, had to repair it, take time. They were under red flag for like, what? I don't even know. 40 minutes, a half hour, something like that. Really scary hit for the 20 for Christopher Bell. So hopefully he has a speedy recovery. You never want to see stuff like that happen. That was a vicious, vicious hit. As far as the racing goes, I mean, it's... Again, I don't want to be negative, but like, how in the world does Hamlin just check out to an 11-second lead at the end of the race when... And I know everyone will say, like, oh, well, he wasn't saving fuel at the end. He was just going. And at other points of the race, everybody else was trying to save fuel, so that's why they weren't going as far as fast. Like, I don't know. Something about the Toyota, something about the 11, it's just so weird. It's just so crazy. I don't understand how he's able to just drive away like he is. I'm not taking away anything from Hamlin, the driver, but there has to be something car-wise that Toyota and the 11 team has found that nobody else has found. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Again, I'm not in the sport. I'm not in it every day. I don't see it up close. It's crazy to me, whatever they're doing. So, yes. I think the biggest safety, if this crash happened in 2023, Bell, it probably would have been a lot worse for Christopher. Wait, Real Mr. Rowdy. Did you change your name? You have the same logo, but you changed your name, didn't you? even if the stream ends soon. We still got a half hour. We're covering the races. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't want to sound all conspiratorial, but you could absolutely make the argument that after the lawsuit stuff happened, the Toyotas were exponentially faster, just across the board. I know Chevy's got the new body. I know Ford just doesn't like to put resources into NASCAR anymore for whatever reason. But just something about Toyota is just, it's uncanny. It seems unnatural, but I don't know. I don't want to complain. I don't want to get all tinfoil hat, but it just seems crazy to me. Name fit better. Yeah. Alright, Rowdy. It's all good. Well, I appreciate you being here. Hopefully we'll see you Thursday for the World Cup stream. If not, we'll see you next Sunday after the race. My computer sounds like it's getting ready to take off. Take offy. But yeah, so William Byron showed a little bit of speed there at the end, and I don't know what happened. Again, that was the part of the race where I was watching it without audio, so they absolutely fell off. And what did they even end up finishing? Let's see. William Byron finished where? 18th. Bro, what happened? I don't even know what happened at the end of the race. So William Byron finishes 18th. The car looks good, but it was not fast apparently. Well, he got up to third at one point, and he was challenging for second. I'm like, okay, now he's back. He's pretty good at Michigan. Turns out that wasn't the case. All right. So how does that look? That looks awesome. 2 tires at the end. Oh, so they took 2 tires? Nice. If it was actually... Well, yeah, Braden, I don't disagree with that to some degree, but also they have the Denny Hamlin / Michael Jordan aspect of it on 2311 in Toyota. So it's just... I don't know. Hamlin needs to turn up his difficulty. Yeah, 105 difficulty. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to get all conspiratorial. I don't really care that much. It doesn't really affect my day-to-day because I go to work, I come home. Like today we're streaming, but I mean, I don't really have to talk about it. We could just decal cars and not even talk about the races. But yeah, there is that aspect of it too, but also like let's historically look at Front Row and just see what kind of organization they are, where they've been, the kind of support that they've had. Also look at Ford across the board this year. Ford has been pretty garbage across the board. So, you know, there's that. Also, NASCAR has been very much in the pocket, or not in the pocket, but very much appreciative of Michael Jordan and his presence, of course. And then you have all of that. So again, I don't really care all that much. It's just interesting. Riley Herbst actually comes home with a top 15. Cole Custer comes home with a top 15. Yeah, I was disappointed that Carson couldn't get up there and do more. Ross pretty much didn't show up all day. JJ Yaley gets a finishes 21st. Oh, well, that's why. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 cars DNF'd. Wow. Wow. What a mess of a race. It was kind of a mess. So it's no wonder why there's some goofballs up towards the front. Spire's looking good. Spire's kind of carrying the banner for the Chevrolet teams this year. Tractor House Racing. Yeah, Connor Zilic. Oh, man, I felt bad for that kid. Holy cow. He was like... He brought out the first 2 cautions, and he just sounded like he didn't even know what he was driving. I felt bad for him. I'm hoping Trackhouse will file a lawsuit next. Yeah, it could help. Unfortunately, Pitbull left, so that star power that 2311 has with Jordan, Pitbull took with him. Seemed too excited. Yeah, the restart was... Yeah, it was a little... I think, again, I think at that point I was watching without sound, but I think he went to duck out of line and maybe caught whoever was in front of him, and then all the cars just started turning into each other. I hope Carson doesn't change. I really don't care. I think he's good for the sport. I enjoy his antics, his shenanigans. I hope he does not change. I don't care how mad everybody else is with him. I enjoy it as a fan. So, certain things I should have ran another year, but Trackhouse. Yeah, I think Zilic is probably thinking Zilic should have ran another year in O'Reilly. Trackhouse has absolutely struggled this year. They have been the conductors of the struggle bus. And yes, it's been very unfortunate to see. But yeah, I think he should have ran another year of O'Reilly. He'd probably have like 12 wins up to this point already if he did that. I hope he doesn't change immediately, goes to Hendrick and becomes vanilla. Are you talking about Carson? Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Like even Ross, after Chevrolet, Mr. H had his conversations with Ross about his driving last year or 2 years ago or whatever, Ross became much less crazy. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Honestly, like Spire, I like the situation that he's in. Like Spire likes him, his sponsors like him, they embrace him. A lot of fans like him. Like, I hope that continues. I think that's a positive overall trend for the series. And of course, if he's running well, if he's competing, if he's up front, that all of those things are positives, in my opinion. So they tear up a few cars every now and then. NASCAR likes to tear up cars anyway with the green, white checkers and all that stuff, so they should not care. Hocevar reminds me a lot of 2014 Keselowski. Yeah, kind of the I don't care attitude. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Noah Gragson was up there at one point too. I saw his name, and then obviously they all crashed. So, yeah, not too much to say about that. Yeah, that was a big wreck. Carson is affiliated with Clay. Say what you want, but he bring. Yeah, Braden, you're 100% right. I know if Tim's still watching, he's going to chime in. He disagrees with me. He says that Cletus is too gimmicky. There is obviously an element of gimmickiness to Cletus, sure. But NASCAR has been gimmicky since like 2004. I would say 2004 with the chase, they went away from the traditional points. Then they changed it a bunch of times. 2004 was the first iteration, then 2012 they changed it again, then 2014 they changed it again. So like they've gone through multiple gimmicky iterations of the chase, of the playoffs, of the points, whatever you want to call it. 2009 adding double file restarts, shootout style is what they called it back then. Those two things, and then 2017 with the introduction of the stage racing. So like NASCAR has been gimmicky for a long time, and it's I agree. I said in an LA production review that he was real life. I agree. Yeah, he is kind of like the real life Ricky Bobby to an extent. I think that overall he's good for the sport. He's gonna bring people in. It's a popularity thing. NASCAR kind of needs to get back. If NASCAR wants to do anything, it needs to kind of get into the general conversation of everyday people, and it hasn't been for many years. And Cletus, Carson, the personalities are what's going to do it. And yeah, it may be gimmicky, sure, but if you have a good racing product, you don't need the gimmicks. So I don't know. I've been watching IndyCar lately because I like the IndyCar racing. They have a full season points format. They run the whole race green to checkered. The only reason they slow the race down is if there's an incident or rain or something, unsafe track conditions. So like IndyCar doesn't really have too many gimmicks, and the racing's interesting. So I've been enjoying that. Like NASCAR, it's hard to have the expectations I have for NASCAR because we saw what it could be and what it was and what it is now. And the fall off just across the board, it hurts it. And a big part of that is a lot of old good drivers retiring. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, Carl Edwards. And now obviously Kyle's no longer there. He was a big personality. So like you have all of these factors from a racing standpoint, but also the drivers, the personalities. So yeah. Speaking of Clay's, you should have mentioned Kyle. But I'd agree mostly. I think the thing is about his command is like that's Cletus's thing. He always says, "Do it for Dale and be like Biff." That's like his tagline, right? In his videos and stuff. I suppose I don't know if because like he was friends with Greg Biffle, obviously, but the Dale Earnhardt thing's kind of, I don't want to call it a meme, but it's kind of a meme at this point. So I understand those two things. Adding Kyle to it probably wouldn't hurt, and I don't think people would be too upset about it, but yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know if I 100% agree, but I don't necessarily disagree. Yeah, the 33 car. Yeah, it's going to be strange. That's for sure. The whole situation still baffles me. It is still just overall strange to me. I mean, Dale is still the biggest name in the sport. Love or hate it. Yeah, exactly. There's 100% merit to that statement, Braden. Like, everybody knows Dale Earnhardt. Still, 25 odd years later. So, yeah, it's just... It's hard to get away from that name that was so iconic for so many years. I don't know if you saw, but Hamlin is going to drive a car sponsored by the Minions movie. That's interesting. The Minions movie. Denny Gain rep for Honor Cup. Technically Hawaiian Rolls. Oh, I think Brad Keselowski had a Hawaiian Rolls and Despicable Me, or it was something else. Maybe it wasn't Despicable Me. Maybe it was a different movie, but they definitely did that like last year or something. I'm pretty sure. I think. You're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Braden. Okay, it was 2024. Carl Edwards drove the Minions car in 2015. And some people made some customs of that and apparently got in a lot of trouble for that car. Sonoma 24. The Minions. Those are funny movies. Well, I guess I can't totally comment. I think I've only seen one of them. I like the Despicable Me movies. They're solid. 24 was the last time. Yeah, because haven't they been on Denny's cars since then? Kentucky, I remember that. They left after Kroger. See, you guys remind me of a younger me. It's so funny. I still have, like, more knowledge than the average person as far as NASCAR stuff goes, but here, we'll just go back to full screen. I mean, that's pretty much it for Cup racing. We'll do this until we go to IndyCar. But yeah, it's funny, like, I don't really pay too much attention to the modern stuff as much anymore. So you guys kind of fill me in on all the drama, all the things that are happening, all the things that are taking place. You are my source of information. I also don't go on Twitter that much anymore. Hardly ever, really. Where did that knife go? I lost my knife. Uh-oh. There it is. Whose name is most known in in NASCAR history? Petty, Earnhardt, or Gordon? Three very different eras, or three very different fan bases, three somewhat different eras. That is a tough one. Earnhardt, probably. Probably Earnhardt. Probably. I wonder how different that would have been had Dale not died in that wreck in 01. If he was still racing. Now, obviously, he wouldn't be racing today, but if he would have still continued racing into the 2000s, like, how different would that conversation be? Because he didn't... As weird as it is to say, like, Dale didn't have a chance for his career to ever fall off, to obscure into too obscure into like the history books necessarily. Like Jimmy Johnson kind of fell off. Now I know a lot of people weren't really fond of Jimmy. Obviously not to the extent that everybody liked Dale, but Johnson, like, his career just faded and faded and faded. Same thing with Gordon. Gordon wasn't winning as much towards the end of his career. I believe they would have been second flag. They would have been the second flag. Yeah, DEI would have been definitely a different team, that's for sure. Old Teresa wouldn't have had her claws in it. But yeah, I don't know. That's the whole what if situation. I think we mentioned that last stream. I don't love talking about what if situations, but yeah, it would have been interesting. Obviously, everybody has been talking about that for 25 years. But yeah, probably Earnhardt would be the, like, if you go up to anybody on the street and say, read me this name and what does it mean to you? Earnhardt probably has the most recognition. I would honestly probably say Gordon and then Petty. You also have to take into account recency bias. So we might be at the point where Jeff Gordon would be a more responded driver than Dale, just due to recency bias, even though the legend of Dale Earnhardt is still really, really prominent. But yeah. Alright, I want to talk about IndyCar really quick, because this was my favorite race of the weekend. Not just because Polo did not win. I was kind of disappointed that Joseph Newgarden won. I was really hoping Marcus Ericsson would win. He's on Andretti Global with Kyle Kirkwood. So, teammates to Kirkwood, so I was hoping that he would win. But it was a solid race. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. The rain came twice, and I did not enjoy that. But other than that, the race was fun. It does need more ovals, I agree. The racing is good. The racing is really solid in IndyCar right now. And this year's package was a little bit slower, a little less downforce, so it was a little different than last year, but it was still solid racing. It was still pretty good. His death in 2001 made him much more famous. Yeah, I think it did. Again, I wasn't a fan really back then. I wasn't, I was 5 years old in 2001, so I didn't really understand it. But I do remember getting yelled at in lunch in like 4th grade, 3rd grade or something for telling people how he died or whatever. So that was interesting. But yeah, I think his death did make him more famous in general. That's probably true. And also it kind of all this kind of Wilson Horse King is very exciting. Yeah, I didn't really watch a ton of IndyCar back then, but was that before it was the Verizon IndyCar series, or was it the iZod IndyCar series, or was it even more than that? Am I the only one who remembers when NASCAR was going to do an All-Star race? Well, it was crazy, but then they got canceled. Yeah, they said they were gonna do a run what you brung for the All-Star race, but yeah, I don't know whatever happened to that. They got cold feet or something. Thought it would be too fun, too eye-opening for the teams to be able to tinker with their kit cars. They didn't want that. They couldn't imagine putting on a better show than what they get on a weekly basis. But anyway, yeah, Newgarden wins, Ericsson second, Rasmussen third, Renus VK, Scott McLaughlin, and then our boy Kyle Kirkwood finishes in sixth. So one thing about IndyCar that I'm liking more and more is the IndyCar app. You can also listen. Yes, oh yeah, Malukas, Daniel Dye's friend, finishes in seventh. So on the IndyCar app, you can watch the in-car and the radio of the team of your choice. So what I did was I watched the race on Fox on the normal channel, and then I have the app and I listen to Kyle Kirkwood's radio and watch his in-car. And it was awesome because he was having problems with his cool suit under the first red flag for rain, and so they didn't know if they were gonna let him get out of the cars or fix the cool suit or whatever. So it was funny to listen to him complain and go back and forth with the team about the cool suit and how he was all the fans were shutting off in the car too and everything. So yeah, IndyCar definitely better than NASCAR in that regard as well right now. I hope they don't take that away, because at one point we did have that with NASCAR. You could watch the in-cars, you could listen to the audios of the teams, and they took that away and put it behind a paywall. So, yes, so on the IndyCar app on my phone, you download it, and you can watch the in-car and listen to the team radio. I really hope they don't take that away, because that is an awesome feature that they have. You can pick whatever driver you want. It's really good. I hope they don't take that away, but it adds an extra level to the racing. And again, I hope they don't take it away, but that was something NASCAR had at one point, and they took that away. So I know, Braden. I don't give them ideas. I know. But yes, Tim, now you know. See, I had to say something so that you guys would at least know. So next time you watch an IndyCar race, you can do it. You can watch it even better than before. So yeah, Malukas winning would be pretty funny. But yeah, overall it was a solid race. There was some differing pit strategies, which was nice because they didn't know when the cautions would fall or when the rain would happen. The one caution did come out, I think it was for Graham Rahal, during a green flag pit cycle that kind of jumbled up the field and the running order and kind of screwed everything up from that aspect. But that made it a little bit more interesting because then you had offset strategies. Palou and Dixon were trying a different strategy, and it ended up biting them both because they ran out of fuel. And so I was happy about Palou running out because that way Kyle could gain some points on him. So he's now down to 49 points behind Alex Palou, which is nice. So they go to Road America in 2 weeks. I don't really know how Kyle is there, but one thing I did notice is once Palou is not in clean air, he is not Superman. So if they can ever get Palou not in clean air, I mean, he just turns into an average driver. I don't know if it's the car, I don't know if it's him, but like even last week at Detroit, when he was in dirty air for a little bit, like he was not Superman. Once you get him out into clean air, it's over. But if you can get in front of him, his ability to pass is not great. Kyle Kirkwood, I know I always talk up Kyle, but his ability to pass is really good when he has the car. So I think a lot of it has to do with the car. So yeah, just a little note there. Just a little note. But yeah, so overall a fun race. I don't really know what else to say. The kind of rookie and F1 community tonight is 5 for 6 this season, winning all but one race. Ferrari's back in business. Real Mr. Roddy, I have no idea about F1. I'll be honest. I don't watch F1. I have no plans to watch F1. probably not what you wanted to hear, but yeah, sorry. I just, that's... But yeah, Tim, that's the biggest thing I noticed about Palou is once he gets behind a car, he's nowhere near as good as when he's in clean air. So yeah, there's that. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, he ended up getting a little behind on strategy with running out of fuel and finished his 2 laps down. I don't care for F1 either, but I wouldn't. So here's the thing, Braden. I do have Apple TV, but mainly for the MLS. And I mean, I don't know. I don't have any desire to watch F1. Like, I do like most kinds of motorsports. It's just I don't have a desire to watch it, really. Just need to talk about the open wheel that, well, sorry. Charity is back. Welcome back. We're 5 minutes from the end, honestly. I'm pretty tired. And we've been going for a while. It's been a good stream tonight. I've had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys have had a good amount of fun too. 26 votes on the poll. Definitely didn't forget to put a poll question up. Would have never thought to forget to put a poll question up. That's crazy business. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap things up with these 3 decals here, and then we will be back on Thursday. World Cup 2026 U.S. host with Canada and Mexico. It's dumb. We'll talk about all that Thursday. But yeah, looking forward to it. Really excited. I think the U.S. has a shot. I think it has a pretty good chance to do well. Win the thing? Probably not. But do pretty well. You getting pretty tired now? You're going to head out. Have a great rest of your night and get some sleep. Yep, sounds good. Hey, you have a good rest of your evening as well. Rest up. We'll be back on Thursday for some fun. Take it easy. Have a good evening yourself. And thanks, obviously, of course, as always, thank you for stopping in, hanging out for a little bit while we get some stuff done. So I'll show you guys this car on Thursday if I work on it anymore. But my goal is to try and get the entire World Cup Lego built. So yeah, starting to get a little bit of a headache. I think I just need to go to sleep. I didn't sleep all that much or all that well last night. So we're going to try and solve that problem tonight with some sleep shortly. But I'm liking this car. I'm going to make 2 more of them. I think I'm going to do those off stream, though. Not entirely sure. But yeah, I think this one might be the one that I'm just going to sell. We'll see how it ends up going. I'll be there. Trust me. All good. I'm excited. I think I was excited to hear that most of you guys are still interested in coming and hanging out and talking about soccer, talking about the World Cup, even though it's not going to be racing related. I think that's really cool that we've built this little community that just wants to hang out, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be 100% NASCAR or IndyCar or racing related. Like, you guys still just want to come here and hang out and chat while we work on stuff. Just shoot the breeze, BS a little bit. So I think that's really cool. And I say this all the time, but I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you wanting to hang out. It's a good time. It's a very good time. So we'll slap this Monte Carlo decal on the nose. And we will call the stream there. I'm here for the person, not the content. Well, Braden, I appreciate that. Yeah, I wasn't too sure how this whole internet streaming personality thing would work. I don't watch soccer. Well, that's okay. We'll talk about it on Thursday. But yeah, I wasn't too sure how this whole streaming thing would go, but it's turned out to be really cool. So yeah, I really appreciate all the support that you guys show me and all the fun times that we have hanging out on this channel. It's been a crazy 2 years. Hard to believe it's been 2 years already, but it's been wild. Yeah, you got to go to sleep. I'm right there with you. I got 1 minute and I'm shutting this stream down, so you're not going to have much of a choice. So, all right. Well, thank you guys all for being here. I know we kind of like ebb and flow with who's joining and who's leaving and stuff, but we made good progress on this car. We got this done the first time, this done the second time, then we got this done and this done today. So, well, save your question for Thursday, Tim. We'll get there. Thursday is only a few days away. We'll get there. But yeah, I'll probably just end up finishing this car off stream. There's not a ton of decals left to put on it. Plus, I have to paint the cowl black, and then the roof rails. Whoa, Karis is in here. What's up? It's been a minute since I've talked to you. Hopefully, you're doing well. Unfortunately, yes, this is the final minute of the show. We're wrapping it up here. Since you just joined, this is what we worked on. We did some decals on Kyle Busch's Robots car from 2005. So we will be talking all things World Cup on Thursday. We're going to be building the World Cup Lego, so the desk will look different. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I am tired, but it was a very fun stream. So thank you guys all for joining. Even you, Karis, even though you hopped in right at the last second. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Hopefully you have a great rest of your night. And that's it. I think I'm out. See you guys.